I have with me here the Nerf magstrike, which I will be modding for my invention convention. It's a Nerf gun that shoots foam darts. This is a dart clip. It's slid into the gun, pumped, and shot. I didn't shoot at the camera because I don't want to hurt my computer. But what I'm going to be attempting to do is, since it shoots really fast, it's effective. But you have to pump it, and that takes a really long time. So what I want to do is, this is the bladder, so I'm going to take this whole gun apart and see if I can increase the bladder size. Now if I do this right, the reason I'm increasing the bladder size is I can only get 20 pumps out of this before a release kicks in, so I can get about 1 clip of firing. My goal is to get a large bladder so I can pump it about 40 times and then get fire a clip, shoot it, it'll come up, I'll switch clips, and I won't have to pump, and I'll just be good to fire another clip. So you're not running out and having a Nerf war and then, oh crap, I ran out of ammo and I have to pump in the middle of, I don't know, 4 enemies. Not fun. So that's why I'm doing this. Alright, after about an hour of struggling, I finally got the gun open. This is the bladder, and the pump that leads to it, I'll pump it, and watch the bladder. Its size should increase. You see that? Then, when the trigger is pulled, so, yeah. All this, these bumpers, are interfering with how far the bladder can be pushed out, so the next thing I'm going to do is try to take those off. So check it out. I pre-pumped the bladder, so you can see it got really big, and this end I took off. There was a bumper here, because this green nozzle, when it's hit, it lets the air out. So when I seal this back up, since you can see here the bumper isn't there, it'll take it a little bit more pumping to reach here, so I'll be able to pump it more and shoot farther, hopefully. But I'll test it out. So I've reassembled the gun, and I have 2 clips laid out, all loaded. I'm pulling the trigger so you know it's not pumped anything yet. That was 30 pumps before the release kicked in, which is 10 more than before. And now I'm going to attempt to fire 2 clips without pumping. Alright, the last 3 darts are still in the clip, but still an improvement, and I'm pretty happy with it. Alright, the whole mess that I showed you before at the end of the gun, like this stuff and the green valve that let the air out, I just took that out completely. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to keep this bumper, but I'm also going to shave these other 2 ones. And this was part of that other part of the thing that used to be here. So what I'm going to do, and since that fits really well, this hole just has to be plugged up. And then I'm going to wrap like duct tape or E-tape here, so then there's no overpressure valve at all. So what that'll do is I can pump it as many times as I want, and the gun won't stop it, but I'm just going to have to be a little more careful on how many times I pump it. Should get better results. I forgot to tell you this in the last clip, but the reason I have to be careful on how much I pump it is this might be able to pop, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm not going to pump it more than 40 times, because if this does break, I don't think I can get another one of these without getting a whole new gun. So I'm going to be careful. As well as increasing how much air the gun can hold, I wanted to increase the range. So I figured out the gun, when it shoots, this moves forward, which then hits this part, which shoots the dart out. And I took this out, and there was a hole here, which I plugged up right here with hot glue, because when this part hit this, air was leaking out there, so not all of it was going to the dart, and now all of it should be, which should increase range a little bit. So I plugged this piece up, and I think I went a little overboard with it, but what are you going to do? Inside here is a piece that blocked where the green overpressure valve went, and then there's, around that is plumber's goop, then hot glue, and then on the outside duct tape on both ends. So I'm going to put this back in the gun now and put it all back together and see how it works. So I put the piece back in the gun and duct taped it, and as you can see, it doesn't have to be all that clean, but that should work pretty well. So I didn't do anything more to the rest of the gun than I've already showed you, so I'm going to put it back together and see what it does. So I've put the gun back together, and I haven't fired it in prior to this video, so if it screws up, you're going to know about it. I'm going to have it on tape. 2 fully loaded clips. Pulling the trigger so you know it's not pumped. That's a problem. Pump came off. I'll be back. Alright, I figured out what the problem was. Simple fix. And I put duct tape on the outside. Same thing. 2 fully loaded clips. Not pumped. My target is that blue Tiger vest. Surprisingly easier to pump. Not firing. I opened the gun back up and found out what the problem was. It completely blew this off. Like, it's not even funny how much force it takes to do that. So, I don't know. I'm gonna have to use, like, hot glue or a really strong electrical tape. Okay, it's really annoying to take this gun apart because it takes a while. So, I'm just gonna see if it pumps before I put it back together. Hooray, it does. 7. Alright, gonna put it back together. Yeah. Alright, I've pre-pumped the gun 40 times. 2 clips. And I'm going to be really mad if I have to open this up again. Target is the blue Tiger vest. Step 1. What I'm thinking is there might be something wrong with the other clip, so I didn't bother to reload it, but I'm gonna see 40 pumps if it'll fire twice on this clip. I think the trigger function might have a problem with it, so I took out the safety so that the trigger can be pulled and the gun can be fired. As you can see, it's moving without a clip being in the front part. So I'm just going to hold it together with like 3 screws to see if it works, so it'll be easier to take it apart when it fails, because this gun is cursed and I know it won't work great. Again, didn't bother to load it. Pre-pumped 30 times. First one works. Last time to make sure it's foolproof. 20 in the clips, 40 in the gun. Aim. 1, 2. It got all of them.